And my name is Jaden McPhee, and my drag name is the Virgo Queen. I decided to be a drag queen like about a year and a half ago, I would say. Like, this was September of 2017. And basically I was just exposed to RuPaul's Drag Race. My friends that were like currently drag queens, they were going to New York to see RuPaul Drag Con, which is like this convention of like drag queens, and it's like all about the show and everything, and I was super excited. So I went with them, and that was basically like the first time I was exposed to drag and the first time I did drag. And I looked so busted, but it was okay. It was a good time. And then ever since then, I've just like kept going, and like it's just been so like a part of me. So yeah. To be honest, like I'm pretty much the same. I don't really change like my attitude or my like voice or like anything like that. I just get a lot of attention when I'm in drag, and I don't use that attention before my own ego. I just use that to like direct it back into people in a positive way and just show them that, you know, you can do anything you want to do. And like honestly, like look how silly I look up here. Like if I'm embarrassing myself this much, like you are not embarrassing yourself. Like that's kind of like why I really like to go out and do drag. Like I'm always like that in general when I go out as Jaden, but when I'm as Virgo, all eyes are on me, and then I just like love it because I could just be like, ha ha ha, I'm an idiot, and then like everyone just has a good time. So yeah. My family's like into it, kind of. Like they think that they're like into it, they support it, but they just don't fully like agree with it being like a financial aspect. However, like I'm gonna prove them wrong, cause girl, make money, okay? Well, it really depends. Like it always depends on like the crowd that you're performing to, or like what kind of night it is. Like I think like the more people that I invite out, definitely the more like tips I'll get. But some nights I get like $20, some nights I get like $100. Like it just depends what the audience is happening. But like either way, if there's 10 people, if there's 100 people, like I still just perform like the most that I can do, give my all that, you know. It's really like a mix of both. Like I find it really hard in the city to actually like get booked. Like it's just like there's all the like queens that are really well known, and then they have like their like schedules like pretty like booked in. So you really have to get familiar with the like queens, and that would be like my greatest like advice is just you have to go out, like they have to see your face, and you have to like start relationships with these queens, because like they will just like book you if you're good and if they like you as a person. So that's been my experience, as well as like networking. You can meet like bar promoters or people that work at the bars, and then eventually like the owners. And if they like you, they'll like want you to come to their like shows, and they'll want you to like host events. Because some venues are super small, so they only hold a certain amount of people, so they only make a certain amount of money per night. And some venues are really, really large. And you know, it just all depends. I haven't been performing for that long. I've only been working like since January, like working primary income source. I haven't gotten to like perform in a lot of big venues, but like we're between like $250 to like, I don't know, like the price can go a lot higher depending on like if you're performing at like a bar, or if you're performing at like the opera house, or like Danforth Music Hall, or like where, you know? So really like you get like more money. Also depends on how many people you're performing with, because then you have to like split the price. So usually if you're getting like $250 for like a 2-hour show, it's like pretty good, right? But you know, you want to perform a few times in that night or a few times of the week. So I did have another job like when I started doing drag, like up until just recently. My like store that I was working at, the stock store, they like closed their location, but it kind of like was like a push for me to like really go for drag, and I'm really glad that that happened, because like since then I've been booked, and I've been like really like, I feel like a momentum happening. So I'm really like glad that I've like chosen to pursue doing drag. there's not as big of a scene because our whole like queer culture is just not as large in terms of like space. In terms of, this is like my opinion, like we really have like a small area in the city, which is like the Village. We have like a great bars there and amazing queens, but like because the area is so compact, it really doesn't like reach such a broad spectrum of like the whole city. And of course, like you can go outside of that and perform at different venues, and like different spaces are definitely like safe spaces for like queer people to perform. And there's also like a little area in the West End that has like a drag scene, but compared to the States where you go and like every single community, every neighborhood has these drag bars and these gay clubs that you can go to. And so when you're going like just on the train from here to there to there to there, you're getting all these different cultures and communities. So it's like a different take on drag. So you're just getting a lot of different variety that unfortunately we just aren't able to do because of how like compact things are. We do it, it's just like it's not the same as like the States. It's New York, you know, like they're popping, like it's the center of everything. Like, of course, like it's just being where you want to go for so long. I mean, I think like just things like these projects are really important, and like it's a good thing that you guys are doing this, bringing different communities and allies together to like create projects that are like just broadening the spectrum instead of just like performing inside of like the like gay clubs. You can like go out and like be on film, and you can be in magazines, and you can be on TV, and you can do a lot of different things and be like modeling and acting, and you know, as well as performing for a lot of different audiences, not just people that are like in the night scene, you know, like that's gonna open so many doors, and I think that's really important. A lot of people who have influenced me have been my friends. They've really like inspired me a lot and helped me a lot, like with like makeup supplies and clothing and like just like honestly everything. I'm so grateful to like all my friends, because like drag is not cheap, and like I cannot afford all this stuff, so like I'm really grateful to them. Queens, like drag queens that inspire me, that I look up to, definitely Naomi Smalls was like the first queen like someone said, oh, you look like her, and I was like, who? Like I didn't know like who she was or anything about drag, and I remember being like, I don't really look like her, but then like now I obviously see I look like her, and my makeup is really inspired by her. There's a Toronto queen, Priyanka. She started drag like around the same time as me, like a bit like before me, but when I like started like figuring out what drag was, I remember seeing that she was doing it. And I know her from like when I was a kid. She used to babysit me. I just was like, oh my God, like just seeing how successful she's been and how like she's really like gone for it, and she's like made such a great like career, and she's just such a genuine person. It's inspiring in itself. Jada's definitely a huge inspiration for me. She booked me one night, and I was like super like grateful for that. I was like, yes girl, because like since she's definitely one of those queens who will book like new queens, which I think is really important. You were once a new queen. I would definitely say to just like continue to like do drag in your room and in your house, but definitely get out there, go to the clubs, see what's poppin'. Don't be shy, just talk to whoever, because everyone's really nice. They're not gonna come up to you. Just go up to them and say hi, and they'll be great. Like, don't be nervous, don't be insecure. Like, just, it's a safe space, it's a safe community, and if you go out with those intentions, you'll receive that energy back. And I definitely say like, go to the open stages that happen throughout the city. Be secure in your gigs and in your talent. You can see me perform the Woodies every Tuesday night, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. We have cheap drinks, we have all the girls coming out. It's a good time, so yeah. She's on the prowl, she rock this town. Who's that girl? A fly ferocious lady.